So, where we last left off was that we got the rotation and the different pieces going. Off stream I made an encoder and then we set it up so that we can spawn different pieces. They are randomized between the 7 different ones, and then we can actually rotate it. So if we start the game, see now it's the T, and we are able to rotate that. And then it falls down, we will get a new shape. And now we have the square. And one thing I wanted to add for a long time, because it's otherwise just quite a bit tedious, is this button, which, well, as it looks, it's the button just to get it down a bit faster. So if I basically keep spamming this, the piece will go down much faster, which is quite a neat thing. And then the big update, or like what I spent a lot of time, pretty much like 2.5 days now, is to get the row completion working for multiple lines. Because beforehand we had it working so if one line was complete, it could delete that row and move everything above down. But if we completed multiple rows in the same update, like with the same piece, it had some problems. And now everything is working better. I hope I can showcase that in just a moment if we get the right pieces. That's not the right piece, but that's okay. And on top of that, I did some cleanup, made a few things look a bit more pretty, and also changed a few things with the clock. So it's running a bit smoother now. And all the times are set to be optimized. Congrats on 500 subs. Well, thank you very much. Oh, that's the exact piece that we want to have. So now you will see the lowest 2 rows both get completed at the same time. So then we clear one row and it does the check again, and then it clears the other row. And to get that working was quite a lot of work, because, well, with the system that I had put in place at the front, and I thought it could be working that way, it turns out it didn't work that way. And then I changed it, and turns out that system also was flawed. So I did the more complicated one, which probably I should have done from the beginning, because I knew if I set it up that way, it would work for 100%. So that's a good takeaway for future problems that I wrote down. And now everything is working, which is quite awesome. So far, I wasn't able to actually get a Tetris. So, meaning 4 rows in one completion. But at least I also got 3 rows at the same time. Yay! Yeah, that's basically what my mind went to. Also a very good day, or like good time once that cleared. So let's just put that one down, and it should once again showcase that everything is working. Wonderful. So, on today's agenda, we have 2 more things, and those include both the kind of current piece that we have, because 2 features in Tetris is that usually you will see display the next piece that will fall down, and another mechanic is that you can actually hold onto one piece. So you can exchange those two just with a flick of a button. And hopefully we can get those things working. That's what I hope for. And Extreme Speed, I hope you too had a wonderful week. Thanks for checking in there. Dang Phil, this is looking amazing. Well, I think it's just looking like you. You're probably also looking amazing today. But yeah, thank you. I'm quite happy how it is functionally currently with the display and the update rate. It feels pretty smooth, especially if I overclock it. Because now it's quite a lot faster. I think either running 25 or 23 ticks per second. And as you can see, it's obviously also getting quite a lot harder. So squeezing this one in, that was quite tight. I had moments before where that didn't work. So yeah, really like the presentation. And then I think I'll do some explanation. What are you doing over here? Alright. Let's actually head back and I'll explain how the active piece works currently. It all comes down to these three memory cells. If we think in binary, we can encode 8 different pieces because 2 to the power of 3, the number of memory cells, is 8. Which is good, because then it's enough to have 3 memory cells to have the 7 different pieces. So in summary, these 3 memory cells save what piece we currently have. And then the block on top of the encoder is responsible for taking the information of these 3 and actually converting it into the pieces that are shown. So meaning if you want to have the functionality for the active piece to be changed and also have the next piece, we basically do the very same. We introduce 3 more memory cells and call them, this time they will be, for example, the next piece. So imagine this one being over here as well, and it has a separate encoder, which is just the same thing, and then it showcases next to it just the piece. But what we can do then, if we set up the right wires, we can take the 3 memory cells from the next piece and bring them over to our current piece. So basically, we display the next piece, and then we say it's now our current piece. And then we can, instead of generating this one randomly, we just say, no, this one should be generated randomly. Let's go, and hello Swift. I hope your week was very wonderful. So let me draw up a sketch, if I can find my drawing tablet. So, what are you gonna do when the electrical update goes live? That is actually a good question, but I don't think I'll be in too much trouble because the biggest change is just like the consumption on the pieces, and it's not going up, but instead it's just like going down from 1 to 0. So I would assume most of my circuits would be like still working. It's just that they are like hilariously overcharged. And I think the only circuit that I need to readjust is the display, where I use actually the counters with the pass-through to show binary numbers, because then they should be like screwed by 2 each or something, but that shouldn't be much of a problem. So that's at least what I tell myself now. Maybe in a week I'll be, oh damn, like all my work, it's all gone. Of course, something broke, but hopefully that is not the case. Layoff coming on Monday, we'll need to make it count. Oh boy. Layoff for yourself or like other people? So let me draw the 3 memory cells that we have currently. Something like this. And this is our active. Why is it so laggy in here? Active. Let me try something. If we put this one on the other side, maybe it's less laggy. Of course, the game still renders the stuff behind it. Yeah, layoff for me. Oh no. That's, well, I mean, at least with your expertise, you should be able to find a new job quite soon, I would hope. Too many major projects getting pushed back. Oh man. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Or, like, I'm sorry for you. Hopefully when one door closes there will be another opening, so good luck on that certainly. So we have our active piece, and then somewhere we have the next piece. And the held piece. The new job will be easy to find. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, yeah, hopefully. When breadboards in Rust. And Nicolas Di Bernardo, hello. Hope your week was wonderful. Thanks for checking in here. So far we don't have any confirmations on the breadboards that they will be added into Rust. What we heard is that for the next tech week they'll be on the staging branch. So that's certainly something interesting to play around with. Hopefully they'll add some functionality maybe to the breadboards. Because the current version is, I guess, quite interesting to hope. Not sure how it's working. We only had, I think we had some screenshots. Okay, so as I explained, we have the 3 different memory cells that each contain the information for the pieces that we need. And then we have a line going from the next piece in here. Actually, let me do it something like this. And from the held piece as well. Now the piece that we want to hold on, it's not only going in that direction, but we also need to save the active piece back into here. And we can't do these things simultaneously, because, well, if we just like write this one in here and this one in there, they will just like have a loop and indefinitely like change each other until they are like reaching some point that is absolutely scramble. So we need to introduce 3 more memory cells in between, and then we have them on 2 different phases. So in the first phase, the upper ones get copied from there to the lower ones of those, and then in the other phase we'll just update them. And we don't necessarily need that one for the next piece, but I'll put them there anyways, just in case if we say we want to display multiple next pieces. So say we not only want to show the next one, but the next two. Then we'll have the same, and we kind of would run into the same problem that I explained here. So it's just a bit better to do it this way. Okay, so much for the explanation bit. Let me put that one back on the other side. And then we see roughly what we want, but not exactly. That was just something that I copied over. So let's go into the editor. And from a part of the Tetris, I just copied this. So we need to make some adjustments and need to think what we need and what we won't need. That is harder. The ones that were on the first stream were easy. Yes, that is true. I mean, at the start, I feel like it was a lot more explaining in basic terms. And we were just laying down the foundations. At least now with the explanations, I hope it's a bit more clear going into these parts, because beforehand, and I guess even now, it's a lot of people were just like, oh yeah, I just watch Phil doing wizardry in the side of this editor and not knowing what exactly he is doing. And now, even though you don't know in detail what like each wire will do, I hope that the abstract that I just gave you guys will make it a bit more easy to understand where this is heading, or like what's the thought process behind it. So as you can see, roughly we have the three upper not branches, mem cells, and then the three lower ones. And as it's the same as the other example, the purple wire will be the one that updates the state from the lower ones to the upper ones. And then I think I will just rearrange how the power distribution is working. And then again, if you have any questions at any time, you are always free to ask. Let's actually keep those. Or do we? No. So this should be the power, but it didn't get copied correctly. Oh no, now everything is screwed up. Oh well, that's okay. So, as per usual, black is always the color for just power. Here they are not aligned. So bring power to each of them. And the good thing is we already have the OR gates over here, because we remember the active piece can get activated by both the next piece and the held piece. So let's parent all of this. Of course, that should roughly be all that we'll need. At least that's what I'm telling myself now. Maybe we'll be smarter or know more about that in just a moment. We can make that a bit more condensed. Something like this. Okay, and apparently this one is still a bit broken. Perfect. So that should be one part working. Meaning we'll just parent it and copy it over. Like this. Create empty. 3 mem cells. Oh good, we'll just call that active piece. I think that will be a bit more descriptive. Oops. And then next to it we have, oh no. Something seemed to be a bit broken. Let's try to copy that one again. Update IDs. Okay. Oh, this looks much better. Now, one thing I haven't looked for was all the correct power consumptions on these components. Because they should certainly put out more power than just 2. That won't be enough. So, just to be safe, what is actually the one inside of Tetris? Set up to. Of course, they will need enough power to go through the encoder as well. And they are at 200. Alright. So just to make doubly sure, we'll set them to 300. Why not? And then this should be the held piece. Have you updated the editor? Not really much. I did just a tiny fixes here and there. It might just be that the view now is a bit zoomed in for you. And this will be the next piece. It's not. I think it is. Like, if you see, I can like zoom out and like usually you have you have a bit more on the screen, but I put it up that way because the other things aren't that interesting. Like, it's mostly this window that is moving around. Okay. So we want to have some AND gates and some branches. Like this. And this will be the signal to output these into the next one. We can make them purple, I guess. Something along those lines. Oh no, do we want to have these things pretty or not? Because we'll probably change these connections later down the line anyways with moving bits and pieces. So I don't feel like necessarily putting them down in a pretty way for now. That's that, and then we obviously need to do the same thing for the other ones. So copy, paste, and else. That's okay. They should go into the active piece. And then one more copy for the next piece. Oops. It's not even here, it's down there. And then these go back to over here. Oops. And in another color we will have those. So what do we think? Let's say blue or I think it will be a-okay. And they'll also connect to the active piece. And Arlan, hello, hello. Thanks for checking in there. Hope you had a wonderful week. So connect the power and then we shall soon try it out in game. But we will need some triggers for all of this. So I think I will just set those up. And we do the same input as we are usually doing. Basically with the timer that is cutting itself off. Like this. I'll tell you right away, my English is extremely bad and I'll watch you with a translator. Alright, that's okay. I feel like my English at times is also not that good, but it's, or at least it has come a long way since I first started speaking English. That certainly is for sure. So where are you coming from? I would assume, and not English-speaking country, if you want to share that, of course. So, like this, and one over here. I'm from Asia, alright, I see. Well, good to have people from all around the world. By the way, can you connect out to out of two pieces in your editor? And what will happen if you try porting it into the game? Alright, we can certainly try that. So, say we have this branch. And those two connections over here are both outputs, right? So we take one, place our wire, and now we want to try this one. But then the editor over here says could not connect the two holders as both of them were the same type. So meaning it doesn't allow us to. And if we try the same thing for the inputs, it says the same thing. So, very good question. Yes, it does consider the two types. What kind of editor is this? So it's inside of the game engine Unity, but the editor is itself. So let me show all of it. So all of this and the logic behind it is something that I made myself, just in my free time, to have all the electrical, not all the electrical, but the most important ones. I didn't come around to have all of them included, but most of them should be here. How did you make my name be gray? Oh, I see the ping. I think he just put the at before that, right? But not sure if that's... Don't know about the internal logic of YouTube. So we have two different commands basically that we want to do with this one. One is this wire, which is the white one. That one just resets the lower memory cells. And the purple one, as said, copies the input, or like the value of the lower ones into the upper ones. So that's one thing. And then we do actually the same thing for all of the other ones. But let me think, can we combine the two? We cannot. Because sometimes only these two are updating and sometimes only these two are updating. Which prevents us from doing the easy thing. Oh well, then we'll do it the hard way. Before doing that, let's just increase the output of those. And hopefully with the next update we don't need to actually update the outputs that often. Excuse me, mouse, please. Oh no, my mouse is... there you go. There, nice. That's looking better. And actually, let's parent those things into its own object. Call it inputs. So now all of them are grouped together. Copy them over here and over there. And connect them. So that's all of these signals, and then we need two additional ones. One for the going to the next piece, the turquoise one, and then one for the pink. So let's copy those over once again, change a few things around. Connect this one all the way back here. And the other one over here. I thought you were writing Tetris code in Rust. Oh, now I see where you're getting at. No, it's actually the game. So like, this is Rust, or like part of it, and we are doing Tetris inside of here. I must say, like, the overlap of Rust game and Rust programming language, it's yeah. The search engine optimization is just horrible on those things, especially if you search something more technical. So yeah, almost. It looks intimidating. How do you make all sense of it? Well, I use my brain and then I use it a bit more and then I still don't know what I'm doing, but at some point it makes sense to me, I guess. No, I have a background in computer science, so that does help a lot, I must say. My English isn't the best too, I often just forget words, it's just a problem with me. I mean, I feel like that's something everybody has, right? But they think of, oh, I know the perfect word for the situation, but it's just not coming to mind at the moment. But I feel like as long as you already can understand the other person and have a good knowledge or like vocabulary, that's, you know, maybe the more important thing. And then if you have the ability to express your complicated thoughts in more basic terms, then, you know, you can go quite a long way. Oh man, that's cool, love it. Well, thank you. And it's not the first project that I did in Rust. I also recently did a calculator and some more simpler games. This is certainly the most complicated game for on stream. Probably also the most complicated game in general, I must say. Of course, I did some other games before I started the YouTube thing, but they weren't as complicated as this for sure. You're right. Yeah, so... And then, well, if the other person also isn't too arrogant about the language and like tries to understand what you're saying, then it shouldn't be as much of a problem. But even these days I still run into like language barriers from time to time, even more so when I'm not concentrated. It was so funny, like 2 days ago I was on the Discord and I was already quite tired. It was 1 AM and because I wasn't following the topic of the conversation that much, I started like playing a video game, so I got even more distracted. And then I picked up on something and I wanted to add my comment on it. But I was so tired, so I instantly like intuitively went to German and I just blasted out my comment in German and everybody was like so confused, like, what are you saying? So yeah, that happens to me too. I didn't even consider that. Well, I'm in an English lobby at the moment, but I guess that's more a problem with being tired than understanding the language. Do we have everything? I would certainly hope so. And then over here, I would actually like to have some buttons, because otherwise we don't have a way of getting inputs in here. So, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3. And why are those not connected? Good that I see it now. So, because my editor still has some problems, you see, the wire is appearing visually, and this one tells that it's connected, but this one is not. So at some point during the copy and pasting, it got apparently a bit scrambled. So yeah, sometimes you need to fix your own problems to create your own problems. or the other way around, however you want to put it. The calculator video is really good. Well, thank you. It certainly did very well. I'm sure you can do it. Well, thanks for the trust. I am certainly quite hopeful, but I'm still interested on how good we can make it. Because as we have it currently, there are still some problems with it. You can do all funky stuff, I think. For example, if I press this one very, very fast, yeah, you can go off screen, which is something you shouldn't be able to. And if you do it slow, then the collision detection is working and you can't go any further. Yeah, so like these small things, there are a couple of them in there. And I'm not entirely sure if I can fix all of them, but I hope to fix most of them. So we set up those, then connect these. And hook them up to power as well. So Arlen, is it that you are actually interested in the programming language of Rust, or how did it come to be that you were joining in here? So is that everything? We can have all the different inputs. We have some lights to see if everything's working and some inputs. So I think, hopefully, let's write it and put it into Rust. So that's the old one. We can delete this one, and stability is off. True. There you go. And let's paste it in here. So everything seems to have power. Okay. So let's put these on and say this. Oh. Nice. Okay, so as we saw, purple wire is update, take the lower ones, put them up here, and that just happened. So before they were not on, and now that I triggered this, they are on. Okay. Sometimes my brain doesn't swap to my native language, and I accidentally say English words in a conversation IRL. I feel like especially with the young folk that are so much on the internet these days, or at least like for my generation and my peers, it's quite common to use a lot of English words because they just come to mind more frequently or more easily than the actual words in your native language. That's certainly something. Yeah, I was looking for programming videos. Okay, I see. I'm sorry, I'm watching through a translator and I'm 5-7 minutes behind the stream. But it's interesting too. I see. No, don't worry, like, try to take it at your own pace. I hope it's interesting nevertheless, even though it's a bit maybe harder to follow along. Yeah, but if you, like, how experienced would you say are you yourself? Are you just like getting started, or have you programmed in other languages before? So now we want to take these remember this is the next piece. And the turquoise one would simulate that we want to move the next piece over to our active piece. So hopefully now the lower ones turn on. Yes, they do turn on. So that would be kind of this update, and then we update the active piece afterwards from the lower to the higher by hitting this, and it works. That's very good. Not only did it update, but we set it also up so the lower row resets, which makes just a few things easier that way. Okay, so that is working. Now the more interesting part would be the other way, like the switching. How old are you? I'm somewhere in my 20s. There's a 12-hour full Python guide, and it's heard it's good. Haven't watched it myself though. Yes, there are certainly some good programming guides out there. Haven't heard of that one in particular, but I would assume that it would be pretty good. So we do this, which is the exchange, and it seemed to not have been working. We wanted to have these lit up now, but they have not. Yeah, I think it's because all of them are draining 16 power when we don't have enough. So let's change that in the editor. Yeah, I write Python, JavaScript, Erlang. I am learning Rust. I see. Good to hear, good to hear. I myself, I think I mostly programmed C# in the Unity game engine for games. But I did my fair share of Java and some Python. If just a few projects or small projects in C, C++, and even in assembler ones for university. We want to change the values, and we want to change them on all of these branches. Now it's 16, but it should be 3 should be enough. Okay, but we can just keep that in the editor for now and just do it manually. That shouldn't take too long. So that's the very same thing, just turn these to 3. And hopefully then, nice, okay. So now they are over here, exchanged, and what would now happen simultaneously is that both of them are updated. So this one is updated and this one is updated. And now we see this one is low, this one is high. Oh, no, yeah, I see. My name is Arlan. Do I actually pronounce it right? Probably I'm butchering that, right? I'm sorry. And the language I write is Erlang. So I would assume lang is for language and RER is an abbreviation for something. So you made games in Unity? Yes, indeed. I made a good amount of games just for game jams, and then also some for actual work. Let's actually do this. Update. Wait, what? There you go. Okay. copy this one over here. Okay, so what I now just did was the same thing as we did before, next piece, and have this one, because now I want to see if both of those are working. That looks good. So we see the 3 that are up here get copied over here, and the 1 is here, and then we'll update this and that, and now they are switched. Okay, that is looking all very good. We just want to simplify all these buttons, because 8 different buttons is a lot, and we don't need that many actually. Music, that one is just a little silent. All right, yep. Any questions so far? Because instead of having one button for each of those different signals, we kind of just want to have one macro button that is one click, and then it will do like next piece, update this one, all in one go. I don't think so. All right. For that to work, what do we need to do? So, I will put some OR switches underneath, because we'll soon have 2 different ways of triggering these inputs. I mean, no questions. Yeah, that's what I think. We have the update on those, and then afterwards, what it should do is trigger this one. So let's put that one here. Just like this. And take this wire, the purple one, over here. This one like that. And the white one over here. Actually, so, and then remember to put the right amount of power through. So 6 times 3, 18. So say 20 for both of them. And those were 50, so that should be good, just in case. Actually, so okay, so now instead of having to press all of them, what it hopefully does is we press the switch button, it does its thing, and then triggers the update on both of these, and afterwards the reset on both of these. Yes, you're right. All right. Your character in Rust is the same as mine. Well, alright. Well, Smoky Birds, hello there. Thanks for checking in. Hope your week was wonderful. Yeah, I think a few people have. I mean, there are only so many different Rust characters, right? And I think some creators like FancyOp also have quite a similar one. Even more similar now that I have the mustache, right? But so with all of this, hopefully this whole input is obsolete. That's what I'm hoping for. So that would be one simplification. I don't see ours much. Yeah, I guess every now and then. Is your character female or male though? I'm having internet problems and have to say goodbye. It's been very interesting watching you, thank you. Alright, hope your internet problems get fixed. And thank you very much also for coming by. Good luck, yeah, thanks, and good luck with your programming. If you want, you can join the Discord to stay up to date or give us up, and if you don't want to, that's absolutely fine as well. Hope you have a good night. He's a guy, yeah. Mine is not. So, yeah, that's, yeah, not very much guy, but that stays between the two of us. I play with Bartertown, if you heard of it. No, I have not. Is that... I do the news for it. Is that a server? Or what is Bartertown? And over here we want to do the same. So introduce this. And hook that one up over here. Let's actually make it the color it's supposed to be. Yes. Okay. Then have two more branches. And hook them up. Yeah, there's actually one thing we need to change, but that's easily done. Wow, weren't expecting that. Yeah. It's always quite a surprise. It's not that apparent in-game. Also depending on just what clothes you are wearing, of course. And the face itself is pretty gender neutral, I'd say. So get back the OR branch, the OR switches that I just deleted because I thought we didn't need them, but yeah. No, we actually did need them. This one there. Okay. Hopefully, now with the press of this button, we can just have the active piece going to the next one. Then have these increased. let's give it a test. I mean that you took off your jacket. Oh yeah, I should have made somebody pay for that, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Let them give you the money or the scrap to do it. So delete this one. Say this is the next piece. Update, now it's in there. Update again, now it's over here. Switch around. Now they are switched. I can just press it again and it does the thing automatically. Let's get a better view angle. Yeah, so that works very well. We get a different new piece. Update once, update twice, okay. Huh. Okay. Something. Oh, yeah, no, I should have pressed this one and not the other one, yeah. And as you see, the switching works perfectly. Wonderful. Maybe even splendid. Now we just need to make it 10 times more complicated by hooking up all the encoders and different things and blah blah and blah. Oh, splendid. Alright. I guess we'll just take this one inside the editor and copy it over and then do a whole bit of rearranging things. Probably not too many actually. I thought about Splendid right away when you said it. Well, I mean, there's only so much time that can pass on a live stream of mine until I say the word. Alright, so even more editing time. So these are actually the important inputs. And the other ones aren't that important. Like these are the switches you would press. No, you would actually only press the right one. You don't need to press the next piece. Okay, all of it looking something a bit all over the place. Switch, they can stay alone over there, that's okay. This one is part of that input, okay. So they go in here. What about these OR branches? They can go in there as well. Oops. Thanks. Come on. So parent all of them together. together. Let's say peace, logic or something. All of that except the generator. We don't need that one. And we can take this one and copy it. I will be leaving soon because I got basically no sleep yesterday. There was sun booming, so I had to stay awake. Alright, well, hope this night will be better. So good night's sleep to you, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for checking in. Every time I join you leave in, oh no. And hello Monstera, I hope your week was wonderful as well. Okay. So this piece is finished, and now we'll just take back the Tetris, and this will load for way longer than I want it to be, but now we'll be waiting together. Hello, thank you, hope your week was great. Yes, it certainly was. I didn't have much obligations, so I could do a lot of this. And I did a lot of this. Parts of it were frustrating, but I made it work. And now Tetris is even more splendid. And we want to copy it over somewhere like there. So, piece encoder. Something like this. And pieces already... No, actually they did not break. Now they broke. Yeah, that's always not a good sign. So maybe we'll do that a few more times. Was a fancy seeing Monstera here. And hello Jake, thanks for checking by. We are watching a master at work. Thanks. I mean, if my editor would be working as masterful as you claim, maybe it wouldn't throw us error messages, but well. So, take this. Let's just copy it once over. Copy. And we need to get a version going inside of here. Okay, now it did not throw us any errors. That's good. Oh, I was so confused, like, why has Tetris suddenly a wall over here? But that is the other building. Got a bit confused. Just realized you're reading comments, not saying you were leaving. Sorry, my bad. No, nah, it was just Honk that left for the night. I'm probably still gonna stream an hour or however long this will take, basically. Piece of logic. Monstera that skips painting you did for the exam was so cute. I'm not sure if I saw that one. I saw a few of your paintings on the exam stream. They were like the Froggy Boots and Tea Guy Tom, all looking very beautiful. Now, is that one aligned with the wall? Surprisingly good. We just need to change it a little bit. Where's the pivot? Oh, that's perfect. So change the angle. That's not the right direction. One 80, 182, 1.0.5. That looks good. This is far beyond my comprehension. It's basically magic. I mean, like, yes, part of it is. I always try to explain things here and there as I go along, but usually I do a lot of explanation at the start of the stream, and then I don't like want to repeat every single step like over and over, but I try to kind of say what I'm doing. And if people have any questions along the way, they are more than welcome to ask. And then, as you can, or as you guys all can see on the agenda today, we want to create the mechanic where you can actually hold a piece and also see the next incoming piece. And for that, I made this explanation, which is basically just, we have 3 memory cells that are like always saving what piece is where, and we want to loop them around. So this is a demo version, or like thing that we are working on, and say this is the active piece, this is the held on piece, and then we can just like have this button and now they change. So here's now the 2 piece, there's that one, and we can do it again and they changed again. And same thing is with the next piece. We just say, oh, this one now should be the next piece, press this button, and now the next piece is over here. And that's what we did so far on stream, and now we want to integrate it into the existing file. I know it's just logic, but it's a lot of parts. Yes, it is a lot of parts. I can tell you how many parts it is. I just need to put this one in the builder. And then count components. So currently we are staring at a staggering 15,000 components. Isn't that something? That is more than the calculator took, and we are not even done with Tetris, so I would assume it would come out at 18,000? Maybe a bit less, I'm not sure, because the majority of the pieces we have put down, but then there's always something coming along. What do you mean turn on? Oh my god, you're crazy. Hello there, FRTJG. Not sure how I should say that, so I'll just say it that way. Thanks for checking by. He's building a working Tetris game with Rust electricity, that is right. Earlier we had a guy that was actually interested in the programming language of Rust and wanted to see a tutorial, and then he stumbled upon my live stream and was a bit bamboozled because, well, that's not the programming language Rust, but it's the game Rust, so, well. So let's disable those, because then there will be less visual clutter. Let me actually change to this perspective, because then you can see also the loading bar and how that's basically my life for the last 3 days. When I tried to have the row completion of the Tetris working, I was just staring at one loading screen, and then I copied it and was waiting for it to be copied, and then I waited it for be removed again for the new one. And am I stupid? Was that not the right? I disabled the wrong one. Oh, but I should have disabled this one. Yoo-hoo. Another waiting session. Poor guy, so confused. Yeah, he was. But he was very nice. So these 3 are the old ones. And the way we did it was just with the random switches, the yellow ones. Every update or every time we wanted to have a new piece, we would just like update those to something random, and then through the encoder over here, it would then display the right piece on the screen. And let's move all of this up here, so we can put the other things beneath. Well, almost fitting. That should work. That names comes from hitting the keyboard randomly. I'm sorry, didn't put a new name on YouTube yet. Call me Ben or Teo. Alright, Ben. Well, I hope you had a wonderful week, Ben. And let's see what's all the random logic, because all of that we don't want to be over there anymore. Let's move that one. Okay. Now it's a bit more easy to see. Power is coming from there. So let's actually disable that one. Nope. This one. And then this one. Okay. Let's create a new parent component and say that's the random logic. And later on, some of you might know, Tetris, the pieces are not fully random depending on the game, but rather they are having a bag mechanic where every 7 pieces they'll have an arrangement of the 7 they have, and then after all 7 pieces fell down, there will be the next arrangement of the same pieces. So it's a bit more fair, and you will get the pieces, how do you say it, a bit more consistently, I would put it. Yeah, went amazing so far. Hope yours as well. Yes, my week was very chill. Hi Jake. Not gonna lie, I think that's even cooler than those guys building such things from IRL parts. Donor doing a game in another game just feels special. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's what I think as well. You could do these things, I don't know, like program them on an Arduino, do an LED screen. I think that's also pretty cool because it's a bit like homebrew, but just coding it plain up in an engine or so, it's certainly good for learning it, but it's not something special in a way, right? That connection should stay, alright. So there's certainly a bit of novelty to this, and also nobody else is doing like projects on this kind of scale. So I think it's very cool. How far along would you say are you in this project? I would say it's pretty good. Just by looking at it, it's already come quite a bit, like a good stretch. You have all the basic mechanics working. Maybe 60%? I think that would be my estimate now, but then again, the last 10% always take up so long, and that's just for... So the 60% I say is only for the electrical side of things, because once I do the video and all of that, I'll probably like set up a whole case and make it look pretty, maybe even do some things with prefabs so it has a very good visual appear on top of all the electrical functionality, which, well, will take a lot of time on top of all of this. But yeah, just for the electrical side of things, I'd say 60% is pretty good. I'm surprised since Minecraft Redstone logic is so popular, but I guess it's a bigger game. Yeah, that's something I was contemplating on a lot as well. Because Minecraft itself lends itself better to creativity, right? The whole game is about setting up these blocks, rearranging them, coming up with creative ideas, building your own things you want to see in there. So it's way easier to jump to the conclusion or come up with the idea, oh, I can use this redstone to make a contraption like a game or a computer. Whereas in Rust, it's mostly, oh, I have this gun and it can go pew pew and I can raid other people's bases. And that's, you know, a bit of like another power fantasy compared to Minecraft. I would assume that the target audience is more interested in that than just creating creative things. But there are, you know, few people that try to go into this direction, and yeah, I guess I'm one of them. Minecraft is just made for this. Rust is more about the PvP or base build survival. Also, not everyone has its own server. Yes, that is true. That's just the content creators' playstyle that everyone likes to emulate. Yeah, I think that's certainly a big part of it. And especially in the recent years, Rust has become more and more open, more creative, more sandbox-like. Obviously to the dislike of many people that were interested in more like the hardcore PvP. But me personally, I never really played all that much that side of Rust. I mostly played roleplay things and made a whole bunch of things in electricity. So I was always seeing the potential in Rust, in like its sandbox aspect and the creative side of it. And with these creations, I just want to show what's possible. So maybe other people in the scene, players of the game, get inspired by it and then, you know, do their own little projects or something. That gets old after thousands of hours. I've really liked the creative side more recently. Yes, for sure. And throughout the last half a year, I met up with don't want to say like a sizable portion of creative people, but a dozen or so that were doing very creative things in Rust and things that were basically only possible inside of there, so it was very nice to get in touch with them and maybe even do projects along. That's one thing I do in the current vibe, where I have in the current vibe I have an arcade setup actually on a server, where we have different mini games. And I have this in collaboration with DaVinci, Monstera, who actually was in chat just a few moments ago, and Silverfox, and they are all like very creative people, and they all like the creative side of it. They are like painters, and one does fireworks, and now we have a roller coaster where just like we have a car and it's going through foundations, and then you just drive it like a roller coaster, and it's very far removed from what Rust originally is, right? But it's still a side of Rust, and the side that I basically love the most about it. No way, this sounds cool, man. Well, thank you, Team DLC. Hope your week was wonderful. Thanks for checking in there. So the arcade video looked sick. Yes, this arcade will be even better. I made some upgrades to it, and I also hope to include more clips of people actually playing it, because that was the thing with the last arcade video. There's many people just like asking, oh, I want to see the reaction of people and stuff like this, and now I have recorded every time somebody walked into the electricity room and everybody was like losing their mind, like, no way, how is that possible, everything looks so organized and stuff like that. So I think that will be a fun part of the video. Yeah, I love those guys, yes, for sure. The jumping dinosaur looked so fun. Sadly enough, that one actually is not in the new arcade. It might have looked fun, but it wasn't as much fun as the other games. But yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll make an open invite for like people to join see the arcade in person. But if you're interested to see that project, this vibe, like while it's still on the server, you can join the Discord, and maybe at some point I'll post about it. Yeah, getting quite a quite a talk up and running, aren't we? But no, yeah, I love to talk about this, because I'm very, as you can see or tell, I'm quite passionate about this creative side of Rust, and especially now with the new updates coming to electricity, I just hope a lot more people will get into it. That's just the changes that they are doing, and even though it's mostly just quality of life changes, it's still so good that they now have somebody fixing it. And I hope that I soon actually also make a video about all the changes, so it's like a comprehensive video going through all of what's coming next wipe. Of course, well, people are certainly interested in seeing all the different things that change. This should now all be a little bit better. It happens, new games are cool though, yes. Two of them are still like old ones, DDR and Whack-A-Mole. They are just very fun to play, so I set them up again, make them a little bit better, and then there's also a new one. I'm making an escape room on my server. Also, I loved Silver's fireworks. He taught me a lot with his pattern boomers. And hello Jinger, thanks for checking in. Hope your week was wonderful. Yes, like Silver Foxes. He is so amazing with the fireworks, not gonna lie. I have never seen anybody else do fireworks like him. Now we want to remove these and connect them up over there. Yeah, the Face Punch team is killing it, yes. We are like the whole Restricity workshop Discord. It's ever since the first updates were like committed, the whole community is just running wild and old faces return, everybody is so hyped, so I hope most of it will go live. That's a neat idea. Yes, escape rooms are always fun. I did like 3 of them in my time role-playing. There are so many things you can do. Yeah, if you have any questions for the escape room or so, you can certainly like ask, but I would assume you're quiet or you have a plan on what you want to do with the escape rooms. If you mind sharing, I would certainly be interested in what kind of puzzles you have going on. I have done it a few times, but it's coming up with new puzzles, always the struggles. Oh, yeah, just read. Yeah, I have like some puzzles in my backlog. You know, just the simple puzzle where you need to press buttons in the right order. That's pretty easy to set up, and then on top of it you can just like make it complicated through the things that you tell your players. You can make it as easy as like saying, oh, button number 1, button number 2, button number 3, and so on. But you could also just say, well, have colors or like names, say Alice, Bob, and so on, and then it's like, oh, Alice is the neighbor of Bob, but Bob doesn't like Chris, so they are not neighbors. There's at least like one house like in between, and Darcy is the leftmost house or something, you know? These logic puzzles you can make on top and have the buttons just underneath. That's always something. Then pressure pads. What else did I have? Yeah, I guess just like a whole bunch of combinations. Yeah, with the industrial update makes a lot more options too. That is certainly true. Industrials helped a lot with that. How am I going to organize this? Because I need to duplicate all of this for this one and for this one. Oh boy. No, it will be. Oh no, I'm actually mistaken. We don't need to copy this because these two are saving what orientation the piece has. If we go back, the whole encoder needs all the information for all the 7 pieces, but also all the orientations. And for the next piece, as well as for the health piece, it's enough if we only save one direction. So we actually only need to copy parts of that. No, we just need to figure out what parts they are. I want to have them in the up orientation. Lol, I did something like that, taking pictures of different NPCs with different color outfits. Oh, that's a cool idea. But I have no patience like you. do with these giant contraptions you are making. This is just crazy, yes. It certainly is a bit crazy. So it appears that the orientation that we want is this one 0 and this one 1, which is this line. So hopefully, I think I should have approached things differently. Instead of copying it now over to the Tetris, I should have copied the encoder over. Oh well, afterwards you're always smarter, aren't you? But I guess for now I'll just do the easy way and then think about later if I can optimize bits and pieces. But I have very good memories of doing escape rooms in Rust. So now we have all of this copied over. We don't need the random logic duplicated. This is looking interesting, but that's okay. And we don't need the inputs, at least part of them. Let's move this one even further so it's a bit more clear. Okay. So, we need to get rid of all of these. How long does this take? Hello, I see. I've been working on this on and off, I think now for 3 weeks. I had some things in between, so like multiple days or like even stretches where I didn't do anything because other projects were more important. But given the current pace, I think I will have a working version, just the electrical side, in maybe 2 weeks. But then the even longer stretch will obviously be making the video. That will... I don't know how long that will take. Probably a very long time. Let me think about all of this. So this line can stay. But this one should be deleted. As well as this one. And then these can go. 3 weeks, yes, yes, 3 weeks. It does take a long time, and especially the last few days, I think I've spent about 15 hours, maybe even more on it. Yes, like, even though I have this editor up and running, right, it makes things so much easier. Just imagine doing all of this by hand. We are now at 15,000 components. If you were need to place those down by hand, well, it will take you like so much longer, right? That's just not possible. So it's good that I have the editor already gone. But even with all of these tools, it's one thing to come up with the logic behind it. The execution is just so much more. Yeah, so everything is taking a very, very long time. Okay. Hopefully. You know what? Before I just break something, I think I will just do the easy part and cheat the system. Just say it's in the configuration that we want, and then I'll just do it off stream. Because otherwise we might run into like an issue now, and I don't want to have a debug session again. The one stream was just me looking at the editor for 2 hours and trying to fix something, and nothing was working, and it wasn't fun for me, it wasn't fun for anybody watching. So let's just do that. Yes, on and off, exactly. I saw Rust featured you in the community update with the calculator. Was very nice to see the shout out. Yes. It was very nice, and as you can see in the title, we just hit 500 subs, and if it wasn't for the community update, I wouldn't have gotten that. This is like 12 hours in total, at least, that's been streamed. Yes. Sorry. It's not course of you, I promise, but I go to sleep now at 11 PM already over here. Was cool watching you. See you, hopefully. Yes, Ben. Thanks for checking in, and I'll see you another day. Good night. So yeah, that's just like the parts that I streamed. And at the start, I streamed the whole process. And now I only stream when I think I have something interesting to show. Because beforehand, as I said, there were like debugging sessions, and those are just not fun to watch. So now I'll try, you know, make some things off stream, so when I go online I have something to share, and make a discrete plan on what to do. So for today I'm saying, oh, I know next piece and holding piece, they won't be that complicated. It's something I can hopefully do on stream. And then I'll do them, basically. I hope that's just a bit more entertaining to watch as well, because you can see a lot more process happening, and it's not 5 hours of me hanging in here, slowly making progress, but rather maybe 1 or 2 hours, and then we should have something new. So that's that one, and then we need one last one for the next piece. Do I want to verify that actually first? I don't know, but before I copy it over, I want to have a demo display. Basically, just to see, like we need to visualize the next piece, the help piece, and all of that. So we shall just take these, because they are nice and evenly spaced, and put them over here. And probably also give them a name. So this will be the health piece display. And then we connect it up to the encode. And then hopefully once we are in game it will show the right thing, but usually it doesn't work on the first try. Yikes, sounds like any programmer trying to find the error code. Yes, it is very much like that. It's surprisingly a lot like that, but you know, I'm a programmer by trade, so don't want to say it's like kind of in my blood, but it's very close to it, right? Are those the actual outputs? Yes, they are. So this will make it a lot easier. Now let's think about the orientation, because we need to actually flip the things. So these will be the outputs, like depending what light shall be lit up. And this is over here, it's like the left lower corner, but in actuality it's the right lower corner. Then we'll just connect all of these. Yeah. So yeah, that's how my life is looking for the last few days. And even before that, you know, I had to go through the same process for my calculator as well. So, but it's something I enjoy doing, I guess. Or at least I tell myself. And hopefully a few things here and there are also enjoyable to watch along the way. And even if you like now watch the stream and say, okay, well, I like the project, I just can't watch it every day, it's just a bit too long. I always try to make the streams in a way where after they are uploaded, I put in some chapters. So it's like very easy to see, like introduction, now we are working on this, now that is working, and at the end there's like a summary, so it should always be possible just like to get into the latest live stream and then see what has been worked on. But I'm also very much thankful for everybody who's actually watching this live and keeping my sanity intact. So, and this one will be the next piece display, and we need to connect it to those parts. Yes, that's okay. And as you can imagine, if this already takes a long time, other bits of the creation will take even longer. This one. Then we can move this one again. And afterwards think about all the stuff that we haven't set up correctly yet. So, next piece. Does the 30-meter wire limit cause any problems? No, it actually does not. I could have this one just all the way. Nope, that's not what I wanted to show. I could just like take this one and have it all the way in the back there, and it still would be possible. The 30 meter limit is only something on the client side when you actually like put down the wire yourself. If you do it coding wise with plugins like copy and paste, then it's not a problem. Okay. Now we need to supply everything with a healthy amount of power. How about 1 million power? So take this and put it to the first one. This one goes over there. And make sure everything is hooked up to power. This one needs power next. Those don't. And hopefully with that setup, those all have power. I guess we are able to now check it in-game. I saw they finally fixed the unlimited power on microphones. Yeah, that's a very sad topic. It was after there was a video that put the spotlight on it a bit and made the devs realize that they apparently didn't want to have it in game, and they changed it. Okay, well, I guess here it goes. Let's put those in back to active and let's see. Yeah, but it wasn't only like the Tesla coil thing. It's just that all the possibilities with the endless power and the capacitor. It's such a shame that it's not in there, but well, at least now they are doing some positive things again. Still working on it, I see. Good evening. Hello, MD. Hope you had a wonderful week. Thanks for checking in. Didn't I just press right? It's the wrong one. We want to output this. Well, already wondering why it was so fast. Yes, no, I'm still working on it, yes. So, and now you see like what's probably the most frustrating, or like one of the frustrating parts is I need to delete this, so I need to set the stability true, then delete it, hope that my client don't get disconnected from the server, because it's like trying to delete everything and it thinks my client just flooded the server and then kicks me, which happened a lot. So now I just need to wait for half a minute for everything to be destroyed, and afterwards we wait for half a minute to get everything pasted again. Yeah, sounds like fun, doesn't it? Oh well. Face punch better be paying you. No, they are not. At least not now, so if anybody from Face Punch is watching, I like money, I heard. Not just kidding. So far I just do it for myself. I have quite a lot of enjoyment just doing these things. And, well, I guess I also have a little bit of hope to get something in return. At least now that I do the videos about it as well. I wonder why that would happen. What exactly would happen? Ooh, I think you meant the player kicking, right? I haven't looked into the actual message that it sends you when you get kicked, so that's probably something to figure out, but well, there are so many small things I could fix and optimize here and there. So yeah, that just took half a lifetime. And here's the other half a lifetime when we actually try to paste it. Deleting the 30k entities or whatever. Yeah, no. How could this take so long? Deleting all these entities? It should be easy right now. I mean, it's understandable that it's quite the undertaking. And also, I mean, my machine is okay. It's, you know, it's a gaming desktop from a few years ago. But it's certainly also not the best. So yeah, you can imagine when trying to debug something like, oh, I just needed to change this one wire, and then you need to go through all of this. That's also why the display, the normal Tetris display would be 20 times 10 or 10 by 20, but this is now, I believe, 10 by 14, because, well, I could make it bigger, it's all there, but I just don't, because it will take even longer. German dude crashed the internet with this Tetris game. Yes. I mean, just crashing the whole internet would be quite some power, right? Okay, let's see what's working and what's not working. Oh, they are not hooked up to power, are they? Oh, okay, so and these are also not powered. Yeah, and then on top of that, the frame rate is just abysmal. So we need to hook this one up. But I guess also one more, right? Oh, there's actually one empty. So let's just say 10,000. Hook that one up to the next one. This one just like 5,000 now. And now, yes. Okay, so now there's at least a piece almost displaying. It's not doing exactly what it's supposed to do. This one looks better. And this one looks interesting. It's not even Minecraft levels yet. It will be fine. Is Minecraft that bad? Never played it. I never have given Minecraft myself a try. But I probably would be hardcore into Redstone. Just given the projects. Feel I'm too old for that lol. I mean, you know, I feel like Minecraft can be something worthwhile for every age group, but certainly the main appeal or the main target audience is a bit younger, I would assume. Something like this in Minecraft would take up an entire world. Yes, I don't know if you are acquainted with the YouTube channel Mad Bad Wings. He basically does the same content as me in Minecraft, or I should rather say that I just do his content in Rust, because I'm certainly quite inspired by his ideas. Yeah, and there you would actually be able to see Tetris in Minecraft. Luckily, Rust has actual electrical components. I mean, they are not actual electrical components, because then we would have something like voltmeters, resistors, capacitors, and stuff like this. The things we have is just Boolean logic. And thankfully, very thankfully, we have the memory cell. This is by far the best component. If we didn't have that component, everything would be... Because imagine, for every single one of these, we would need to place down about 8 components instead of that. So like here we have 6 times 8. It's already 48. And then if we come back to here, we have a whole wall full of the memory cells. And instead of having 1, we would need to put out 8. That would be very bad. Hey, would you look at that? It's doing what it's supposed to do. But just that one not. For whatever reason. So... that one, okay. Yeah, there was... This one is for some reason not... $500. Okay. Apparently 5,000 wasn't enough. I'm not sure why I would need 500. Oh, I see. Yeah, the middle one needs 500, but the other ones certainly don't. So we'll just put it down, say 50. Now this one lights up, and now we see this one as well. Yay! Let's change that in the editor. I mean, what even is just like 5,000 power? Just I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but my electrical generators or test generators, they are outputting 2 billion power, I think, which is the maximum value an 32 integer can have. So it's just because of the code, it would not be possible to have any higher amount. So, yes. Okay, they actually don't run with max value, this one at least not, but that's probably 1 billion power, so a lot of power to throw around and to make things with. But with the next update, it certainly will be less, so. So what I would assume now is that the same piece is falling over and over again because we removed the random logic, right? We removed it somewhere over there, but we have not connected it in the right way. That's the next step we want to make. Meaning we have the display for the next piece and the piece we want to hold on. And we want now to have, instead of the random generation connected to the active piece, go in here and then take the piece that is in here and put it to the active piece. And we have all of that kind of set up, but also not really. Oh, it's all the way over here. Oh boy, oh boy. Infinite power, yes. If you can make this with 2 billion power, there's probably something wrong. If you can't, yeah, no. It's enough power, I'm sure. Speaking of which, we need to power this one. So I would hope if we just connect this one up correctly, that then we have the random generation working for the next piece. I can actually just open up the F1 menu so you will always see my FPS just going down in the basement. So these should go where we have the switches at the moment, which is over here. So this one. And now I could just do these things in the editor, but then we don't know if they would work, right? And we would need to delete all of this, paste the new one in, and then try it out. And even though now we are doing double the work, we're doing it once inside of the game and then afterwards once in the editor. At least that way we know it's working, and it's probably still faster. I'm impressed, no matter how little recognition you'll get, you'll always have this talent. Alright. Well, thanks, Danielle. Hope you had a wonderful week, and thanks for checking in there again. Yeah, I feel like I've got a good amount of recognition recently. No, obviously with YouTube it can always be more, but I don't want to do these things for the numbers, but rather for the fun of it and for maybe inspiring some people. But that's not the only thing that needs to happen. After this one is triggered, is it after? No, actually I think we want to do it simultaneously. We want to hit this one over here. Let's actually try it out, because we can just like do it by ourselves. Okay, so this is simulating a new random number. So say this one. Okay, reset those. This, yes. And now we do it. Okay, so the rightmost is on, the other two are off. And that's not what we are seeing. But why? Something must have been wrong. Something isn't working. That wouldn't be the first time, would it? No, is it a power issue? It should not. They have 5. 10 should be enough. That one is then 4. 5. Oh, I see. Okay, so let's debug this, I guess, by increasing this timer. So let's say 60 minutes. And for some reason, these things. Oh, this is so. Yeah, okay. I just got very confused. Because it's the way the random switches are working, right? Because now you see both of the lights are on, and you would assume that if both of the lights are on, it would actually go through the power, right? But it's not. The way they are working, if they are at this state where 1 is off, in this state they will let power through, which is confusing, right? But good news on the horizon, they will actually change that to make it more intuitive. So people like me don't get confused. Okay, now with that knowledge, let's check it again and see if it's actually working. So we do 1. And okay, yes, that's the pattern. And then now we have for the next piece this one, but if we update it, they get copied over and we see now it's another piece. Okay, good. Rand switches are weird for that. Yes, they are. So good thing they are changing it. Good, because that was confusing. I first started using Rand switches. Yes, exactly. And they are changing a whole lot of these things. So that's pretty neat. So if we play currently, now the piece is this one, right? And then we press this button, and now our current piece is the next piece. Meaning we have the functionality, now we just need to tie them together. So we have this spawn piece thing. Let me actually get a tool cupboard so I can trace the wires. That's like the AND switch being 1 red and 1 green and power going through. Oh. No. It's not doing that. I don't think it is. So this blocker resets that, that's okay. And this wire, I think this is the one that, yes, that's the one that gets the new random piece. So we take this one from the random piece and put it to our output, or to the other command, which is all the way over here. Okay, so let's see if that works. Hopefully it does. We have the falling piece. Okay. Okay. We got a new random one for the next piece. That's good. Nice. And now we have this one. Oh. There seemed to be another bug. Oh well. And the next one. So now we have this one. Okay, it just seems like they are mirrored. So they are the wrong way around, but that's something we can fix. But that means it works. Yeah, and that's... Yeah, I can explain that error. Yeah, that's just like an oversight. For now, it doesn't really matter. That's something I can fix later. Yeah, that's all looking very nice. Let's do the changes that we just made. So now we verified it's working in game. Now we obviously need to bring them back into the editor. And while doing so, not make any mistakes. We basically want to do the same as we just did. So hopefully we can remember all the steps that we made. We want to connect these to the input of those. And then power them up as well. We also don't need these switches anymore. This one goes over here with the power. I see. Okay, then, well, screw it. I'll just leave them in for now. That's a-okay as well. Power over there. And then we also forgot the power all the way up here. And those we set to something very high. 10,000. Oops. But yeah, that's very exciting that it now works. For sure. And to get through that moment is not that easy. Oh, sorry. My throat is just not having it. Talking so much. Okay. So this one over here, and then we said that all of these should have less. Did we already do that? let's double check. They are all at 30. Yes, we did that. Okay, move them a bit over here, and ideally they would go there afterwards, but I'll do that later. For now, I just want to see the mechanic with the pieces being swapped working. For that, I guess I'll just put another switch down, another timer actually. And the why I set it up here and not over here is because, well, I can't place it here, and if I put any foundations or anything close to this, all of that would disappear. So that wouldn't be nice, would it? And what this one should do is two things actually. For one, we want to change two pieces, so it's this command. But we also want to reset the height. So if you press that button, it's actually not at the same position, but it's up again all the way. And we have a reset on here, which is like our normal color scheme in white, and it's this one. All right, so we need to put another blocker in here, and increase the output. Then we will do a very ugly wire all the way across and hope for the best. Okay, so this is that. Oh, that didn't seem to do anything. It did something. Was it the right thing? No. No, it absolutely was not the right thing. But it did something. Okay, so we have that one. Let's change it. At least now the piece that was shown here is right. Only thing is... Oh, sorry, I'm so... It wasn't this one that we needed to connect to. Because that was the clear for the X direction. And we need the clear for the Y direction, which is this wire. Now where does it go? Over here. So let's put an OR switch in between. And that was the reason basically why it disappeared. Alright, let's give it another try. So we have the J and want to change it with the I. I think it's working. It's just like another few things around are not correctly set up. I think that we want to test right now. Should be working. Let's change them once again. There's our J back. Let's put it down. Yes, okay, so it doesn't look like it's working, but it is working. That's good. I think there are like some issues I need to figure out, but I will probably do that off stream. Because it just seems that there are a few things that aren't working as intended. That's okay. But yeah. All of this is looking very promising, I must say. Why are we only getting the S and Z pieces now? So I think it's time to wrap things up. Today we tried, like, the goal was to have the display for the next and for the health piece up and running, as well as have the functionality. And that's just what we were able to do, actually. There are some bugs, but not related to this, I would assume. And hopefully next time all of them are found. So yeah, we see the next piece. It will spawn when you want it to be. So now the next piece is that one, just mirrored in the current version. And if we want to switch the pieces, now it's over here. And we have the stored as piece now up on the main board. Awesome. All right. Then I'll say it's time to wrap things up. We accomplished pretty much everything we wanted today. Now, if you don't want to miss the next stream, I advise you to either subscribe to this channel, put on the clock, and not the clock, it's the Glock. Yeah, anyways, the bell actually, I'm tired. Or just join the Discord. So yeah, thanks for everybody watching, for everybody chatting. Well, it was fun watching. That's all I'm trying to do currently, just making the watch experience more enjoyable. And so thanks for the feedback, and also thanks for being here, Jake. As well as for everybody else, for everybody who chatted, for everybody who just lurked or just watched this video on VOD. So, with that being said, I wish you a very splendid day, and I'll see you in the next one. Splendid.